Thanks for joining us here on the Bearcats Sports Network. It's time to catch up once again with McKendree football coach Mike Babcock, our second preseason camp visit. And Coach, since the last time we talked, you've gotten to see the team scrimmage a couple of times, especially a rather lengthy one on Saturday. Give us your observations, your impressions of what you got out of those scrimmages.
Well, the biggest thing is getting the guys to continue to play better. Our ones and our twos need to continue to work on the details of it. And then we need to bring along those freshmen. I mean, they've really only had about 2 weeks of camp to indoctrinate themselves into college football and to kind of force feed some of them that might end up playing. And so I think we were able to accomplish both of those, especially in the last couple scrimmages.
I know in talking earlier as well, some questions still needed to be answered in some positions. You've had those workouts, you've had another week of practice under your belt. Are you any closer to getting answers to those questions, or have they been answered already?
I mean, some have in certain positions, I think. Obviously, trying to find a new quarterback to replace Isaac is always a big one. I've got a lot of quarterbacks that are playing very well. And so, I haven't made a decision yet on who the actual starter is, but there are a couple guys that are really fighting for that spot, and more importantly, might end up getting in the game one way or another. Some of the other spots, there's some freshmen that are starting to pique our interest. But again, it's who those best players are and who's gonna take the field on Thursday.
2 weeks and 2 days are now just about behind you as the remaining student body moves in, the freshmen come in, returning students come in, so a bit of normalcy now as you settle into not only the rest of the camp routine, but getting ready for that first game, which is 8 days from now against Angelo State. Talk about your impressions overall of camp. Did you get out of it what was anticipated coming in early on? What was the overall tone?
I think so. We always want that blue-collar mentality of hard work, discipline, the grind, and that really is what camp is, with the heat, with the humidity. And I think guys really push through it, especially the guys that have been around quite a bit. They know what's going on, and so they were able to kind of push through that grind and yet still get better at the details and try to become a master of their craft and be the best linebacker, be the best receiver, be the best DB. And, I did feel like we got better in that. And then, like I said earlier, some of the freshmen are really coming along. You really only have 2 weeks to see if they can play. Are they going to redshirt? Are they going to play? Are they on the fence? And I think we were able to answer that with some of the guys. And, hopefully, with school starting, guys can still remain focused on both, classroom work and football, because that's really what it takes to play college ball these days.
We're close enough we can almost use those 2 words, game week. We're 8 days out from the season opener against Angelo State. Obviously getting ready for them, a new opponent on the schedule, a team from the Lone Star Conference. What is the general atmosphere, the feeling going in, getting prepped? We'll talk about preview next week, but talk about your early impressions of Angelo.
Sure. This is a very good football team. This is a great test for our guys. I mean, you're talking about a premier team coming out of a great conference, a team that has votes in the top 25. Just scratching the surface of being a top 25 team, and I know their coach, I know their team. They want to be a premier team in that conference as well. So they've got an unbelievable offense. They move the ball extremely well. They've got some big guys up front. They've got some fast guys back there at DB. So this is going to be a great test from offense, defense, and a special team standpoint. So, and I think the guys, I hope they're ready for it, and continue to have great week of preparation as we prepare to take on the Rams.
Coach, appreciate your time. I know it's a busy time of year. Always a pleasure talking with you, and we'll catch up with you next week, not only for our season previews, but the week 1 preview against Angelo State.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Scott.
Don't forget you can keep up with all the happenings in McKendree athletics and follow Bearcat Sports at mckbearcats.com.